Hello. Again, I'm Laura Khoury, and I'm talking with Allison Olson. And we're both adoptive parents. Allison's also an adoptee, and we're both children's book authors around of books around adoption. And today, Allison, we are going to talk about any fears or reservations that you may have had before publishing this book.
Thanks. Yeah, so I would say, obviously, on this YouTube channel, we always talk about the positives and what motivated us and inspired us and all of the good things about the book and why we did it. Obviously, we would not have done this labor of love if we didn't feel strongly about the book and feel like it needed to be in the marketplace and that there wasn't something else like it, all of that. But yeah, I wanted to touch upon some of the fears that I have of it, right? So I would say one of the biggest ones is misinterpretation, right? So people that see the book and it's behind me. So that see the book and think I'm trying to show a false perception of adoption. I would say that's the biggest one. And I'm not as concerned when people actually read the book, right? I'm more concerned about people just seeing it at face value. But I would say that's definitely a concern. But it was intentional, right? Because a lot of the books, I know we've talked about this before, but a lot of the books talk about the struggles of the birth mom, but they don't talk about the struggles of the adoptive parents. And so it feels like in the triad, like it's kind of more heavy weighted negative to one of the sides. And so I wanted it to be more around like the love that surrounded the child. And so that's why I wrote it. But I think that, especially in the adoptee community. So, I'm in the forums. So I'm in all the adoptive parent forums. I'm in all the adoptee forums because I am part of both of those communities, right?
Mhm.
And there are definitely some adoptees that feel like when you produce a children's book on adoption, that you are in some way supporting this big, industry, all of this stuff, right?
Mhm.
And whereas to me, I'm thinking of the young adoptee and especially like our daughter. I'm thinking of her and I want her to grow up and know that her birth family loves her very much. And I know this is a fact. So again, I know we've talked about this. I did not write this book for someone to read it that is not in this situation, right? If someone does not have an open adoption, if someone does not have a relationship in some way with their child's birth mom, that this isn't the right book for them, right? This is to reflect a very specific situation. And so I think that's my fear. I did have one kind of negative comment of someone again who did not read the book, who did not know me. They had just Instagram had suggested that this was a person for me. I followed them and they like blasted me on one of their
Oh
comments.
no.
Well, it's okay. It's okay because they're an adoptee and they also didn't take the time to look to see that I was an adoptee, right? So they didn't take any time. They
Yeah.
just saw, because it was around the time of the Kickstarter books were coming out. So everything I was posting was very positive
Mhm.
on my Instagram. And so the big thing there was that she wrote, well, and she obviously did not have a good relationship with her parents. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't have it in front of me. But it said, I hope, you're writing this book. I hope that it doesn't go in the hands of scummy parents like mine. So this was like her quote. And she said to use, to kind of like use against her with adoption, right? To like, and that is my fear, like that's what I wanted to say to her, like, girl, that is my fear. Like, I am not writing this book to be something that people are not, but I'm also, so I'm looking at the people that are in the situation that I'm in with our daughter. So and I know you in one of your daughter's situations, it has this open relationship. So in those situations, this book is the right representation. I don't want people to misuse the book. I don't want anyone to say your birth mom loved you when you were tiny, when they maybe don't know that. I'm not trying to perpetuate things that might not be true in a situation. I'm trying to, if they are true, highlight the beauty of that and the beauty of that relationship. And so those are my fears. So it was funny that this gal, found me and found me with anger. And thought I was doing something from a different place. And I know I've told you that before, that, people can see me off the bat and not really know me and get to know me and know, the depth of me and my intentions.
Sure.
So definitely when I saw her comment, I thought, oh yeah, that's exactly, I don't want people to misuse this book, but just the same as someone wouldn't want a children's book to be misused
for any,
for abuse, like just anything like that. And so that's where I come from with these, is, I'm not creating this book to get more adoptive parents to adopt. Plenty of adoptive parents out there waiting, right? So when I say I'm an open adoption advocate, I'm an advocate of when you are in adoption, that it is open. I'm not advocating we need more people to adopt. We got plenty. There's plenty of people that are needing to adopt and that are waiting. It was just trying to represent the birth mom in a better light, trying to show an adoptee, hey, you have this huge foundation of love, and there are so many people around you that love you, and have the narrative not be, you should be lucky to be in this situation or lucky to have adoptive parents. No, the adoptive parents are the lucky ones, and that you're surrounded by love. So that was my intent, was to kind of give a warm children's literature hug, to an adoptee, and not to sugarcoat things. So there's a difference, right? And I use this comparison a lot, but maybe you can help me think of another one. But in children's books that are about a farm, you think about, there's so many cute ones, right? Like one of our favorites is Little Blue Truck. And it talks about the farm animals and the truck and the situation that the dump truck got into, and it's all very lighthearted about animals and very sweet about animals. It doesn't get into that it is a lot of work. Farming is is hard work.
Sometimes you eat that cow. Yeah.
I mean, well, that for sure. But I mean, I'm saying even the farmer, that they work 12, 14-hour days. And it's like, so it's okay that children's books are positive. And again, it's like, it's age appropriate. And this book is for 0 to 5. And so it's age appropriate for that message. And I think
like in the Instagram world, you can get these people who are just, they're not looking deeply at your product. They're just like wanting to kind of instigate or get people, thinking of other perspectives. And she might have had some wound that you don't know. I mean,
that's likely the case.
Yeah. And she's probably not your consumer anyway. Directly, even though you want to hear from that side. It's a tough, it's just kind of a tough situation, because people, you don't know who they are at the other end of that screen,
That's true. That's totally true.
They might not actually be your consumer. If you were hearing somebody who wanted to find a children's book on adoption and they had an opinion, I think that would be sort of for your target audience, in my opinion.
That's a good point. It's, it's interesting, the balance, of being an adoptee, of being in these two communities. So I think because I know that you follow adoptee forums and listen to adoptee voices as well, but being actually like in both of these communities, it's like I don't want to hurt either one. And so sometimes I think and I wouldn't say I'm more sensitive to it, just more like I saw it and I thought, yeah, I did. And it's like, but she immediately unfollowed me, so she's not even gonna see anything that I post about. So here is this YouTube, if you're watching it. But I think it's important to know that, you know, adoption obviously is a very complex topic, and there are a lot of sensitivities. And I don't think someone's children's book about showing a loving family means that they don't also have some issues with adoption. They don't want more reform around it and elements like that, right? It just means that they want their child to grow up feeling loved and to have a positive message around their birth family. I mean, that was my intent. So that's the message I would just like to leave, you know, at the end of this, that I'm coming with those intentions and those, and that's what inspired me and drove me to create the book.
Yeah, well, I think that's really good. You have a really good message. So keep it on, keep on, keep it on.
Thank you, Laura. You too.
Yeah.
All right, we will chat soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.